I'm Matt. I'm here representing Beyond the Stage, and today I have with me Boslen.
What's up? What's up?
So, how'd you come up with this name, Boslen? It's a pretty cool name.
Thank you, first of all. The name Boslen, it came from my parents actually. So growing up, like my mom's last name and my dad's last name, they put it together. And they would always be like, Boslen, clean up the dishes, Boslen, do this. I just ran with it.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, so as for like this stage name, sometimes people like to come up with like a character or something for their stage name. Do you have one? Like, do you have any like get up or anything, or is this the real you? Is this authentic?
No, I think there's no stage name. I haven't been in this music industry for a long time, so I find that wearing a mask is not going to get you too far. So like first and foremost, I always introduce myself as Corbin because that's my real name.
Right.
That's what I go by. There's not really any gimmicks. If I see like a supporter, if I meet someone in the industry, I'm always just trying to be like down to earth and just be real.
Nice. I like that, man. So, so growing up, did you have any like big inspirations?
Yeah, I had a couple. I think growing up, I grew up in Chilliwack. So Chilliwack, BC is kind of like a farmland area. I live in Vancouver right now, so it's like an hour outside the city. But yeah, basically my inspirations out there was honestly like my parents. Like for a bit there, I grew up with like a single mother, and she was working like three jobs, and then we met my stepdad and my step family, and like all of them kind of just really formulated my personality and who I am today. But other than that, like hip hop and like the culture like that wasn't really introduced a whole lot in like a kind of secluded area like Chilliwack. So my only source of like intel was like an XXL like magazine or like the radio or that type of stuff. So my influences or inspirations like that was probably like Wiz Khalifa back then, Hobson, Mac Miller, uh, yeah, just like the whole like funk volume, even like kids like Mad Child and like Snack the Ripper from Vancouver. Those were really big my inspirations back then.
Nice. I really like how you mentioned your family and your parents because so many every time I ask that question, so many people just go right to like their musical inspirations, but
Oh yeah,
like
listen.
you went right to like the personal thing. I like that, man. I like
Yeah.
that. So, when you're writing your music, when you're getting in your zone, what's that like for you?
When
Is
I'm
it
writing
different for everything? Like every piece, is it different? Or is there always like one thing that really gets you hyped up?
when I'm writing music, I think it's like that sense of like dopamine. It's very interesting. Like I used to play sports for a long time, and like it's like the same equivalent feeling of scoring like a try or getting a touchdown is when you write that like one bar and you're like, hey, yeah, this is gonna be a hit, or like you come up with that one melody. It's crazy because as creators we search for that one feeling. But you'll make like 100 songs and you won't get it, and then you will question yourself like, oh my god, have I lost the feeling? Like, am I even good at this anymore? But then you get that spark of inspiration from somewhere and then you just make it again. But really my creative process is going into the studio with a producer, and then they make the beat, they start it from scratch, and it gives me enough time to just write all my lyrics down, come up with like melodies. I have like an orchestra of like melodies on my voice memos, and then while they do that they just formulate it, and then yeah, we just put it all together and just make the song. But like when it comes to like one of my favorite songs personally I just released, it's called Deny with Tali Yahweh. Literally right when I made that song I just started bawling my eyes out because when I was making it, my executive producer Ozcan, he's my roommate as well. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna try this sample." He plays the guitar, and I'm like, "Yeah, this isn't anything crazy though." And then he's like, "Let's just try it." I was like, "Okay." And then we ran with it. And as I was making it, he like stopped it. He's like, "So what car are you gonna buy?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "What house are we gonna get?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then finally, like he played it back to me, and it was just this wave of emotion. I just started bawling my eyes out because like I never heard my like voice in like a major key song before, and that was a major key song. I never heard my voice in that tone, so it just sounded very, I don't know, reminiscent or something.
Yeah. By the way, I really loved Deny. I
Thank
loved
you, bro.
how, so I was watching the music video for that and for Trip, and I watched Deny first. I was like, wow, that's a nice car. That's a nice house. And I
Yeah.
went to Trip and I was like, wow, I think that's the same car. I think that's the same.
You
I was
call
just,
that?
it's like all one story. I thought that was so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, I
So
really
that,
try to I try to build the world of like that's just kind of like a it's like a small keyhole of what this album's gonna
right,
entail, you know?
right. Was that your idea to do some like cinematic story for your music?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like it was like I can't take the full credit by any means. It was me and my creative director, Natasha Dion. And just her and I, we just kind of bounced ideas back and forth because we came up with this album, Dust to Dawn. And we really try to paint a visual picture for it. And what better way to do that than really reflect on the past and like memories that you actually been through. So when it came to Trip, that was like an actual situation I've been through. And I'm sure you have, like, I'm sure Kevin has, I'm sure a lot of people have, of just being in a party atmosphere and like getting too messed up. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
or like being in the influence of too many like women or influence of too many drugs. And like, you know, you just have to like pick and choose what type of night you're going to have. So that really was a situation I went through. And then Deny, it was just like reflecting back on everything. So we really wanted to connect it. And I thought it was kind of cool.
Right. You really did tackle that sense of anxiety in your work. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Bro.
Yeah. So that
Thanks.
was like the main demographic you were going for, like the people out there like partying, or was it really just for anyone? Like anyone can jump into this.
I wouldn't say that's a good question. I don't think it was necessarily for people that were just partying. I think it was more just people that I think my demographic of music was really people that are just trying to become self-reflective, because I think we live in a time right now where COVID, it gives you the most time to really self-reflect. And I find so many of my friends, I would never do this, are meditating now, or so many of my friends now are just like reading books or just focusing on themselves more. So I found that Trip and Deny, it was very much more you looking at yourself and your past and asking yourself those questions of A, who do I want to become? Or B, what situation am I in right now? And what am I trying to learn from it? So.
Right. You know, during that Trip music video, right when I saw like the camera work starting to get like a little like shaky and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
things are starting to ramp up. I was like, oh, he's about to start spitting. And then he
Yeah.
just started spitting. And I loved that. Really
Thank you.
showed off your talent, man.
Thank you, brother.
Really talented. And even just I went back through your discography. I saw like your feature in a song called Summertime Glow.
Oh
And
my God, damn. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of a throwback for you.
Throwback. I haven't thought about that in a while.
And
Damn.
you really have grown since then. How do you want to like reflect on that?
I just thank you first and foremost. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I
absolutely.
think I think it's just repetition. I think like just as much as you have like interviewing me right now, like I'm sure you've grown from like just making it more natural. It's just you do it so much and like you don't even conscious the fact of like, whoa, like I'm growing. So yeah, no, I think I'm just getting to the point where I'm more comfortable with my voice and I'm trying to find more specific things to say instead of just being cliche. So
Right. I love that. You know, so many artists fall into this cliche thing, you know, and you're really starting to, I think you stand out a lot through that, man. You've really gone away from that,
thank you,
especially
brother.
in
Yeah.
like, your style of genre. It's like a bit more like you're very experimental, like the funk pop too. I like that.
That's what we're trying to break into, and that's what you're gonna find on this album as well. Is just that I'm trying to become like blur the lines of being what a genreless artist is, because I find that I'm so early in my career that I have the opportunity to express myself in many different genres.
Right. So, you know, we're still kind of early in 2021.
Mhm.
And I just want to know from like what you've heard so far in 2021, do you have any like works that really stood out to you? You could say your own too. I won't judge you. But you
What do
have
you mean by works?
like any like music that really stood out to you from other artists?
Um, the weekend after hours was absolutely insane. Like the rollout, the visual, like everything was just blew me away. It kind of set another industry standard of what true artist is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Don Toliver, Heaven or Hell. I'm still listening to that project. 24 Karat Golden just dropped the project. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. That guy seems like a very genuine dude. Um, and even like, you know, I wasn't really in tune with like the music industry because I talked to my parents about this, but I wasn't in tune with the music industry when it came to like, you know, I have to like I gotta walk on ice here because it's kind of a touchy subject. But like the idea of like symbolism and like that type of stuff. And when Lil Nas X dropped his last song, like Montero, first of all, I love the song, very good song. And he seems like a very genuine dude as well. Like I've heard only great things about him. But the song was such like a shock factor, you know, and like we haven't had that type of shock factor since like Marilyn Manson. We haven't had that type of shock factor since like back then, you know. So I felt like that was just a really big like splash in the music industry to just really make people question, you know, if I'm comfortable watching this or like who is this artist becoming. So I think that's kind of cool because it really stirs up the pot in the music industry and it kind of refreshes things. So that was I really like that as well. And yeah, what else? there's a couple of artists, like for instance, Middle Grey in Vancouver. They just dropped their project, No Saints on Night Street. That's a very good project. You should listen to that. And that's about it. That's kind of what I've been listening to.
Good taste, good variety right there.
Thank you.
So, like going back to that shock factor, have you noticed that like in your career, like any like peaks in your career that really took you by surprise? Good or bad? It could be good.
Not necessarily, no. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I don't know if that's like a bad thing or a good thing. But yeah, I can't
Oh,
really.
that's all right, man.
Sorry,
So
bro.
I also read something else saying like you've toured with a pretty good amount of names out there in the rap game. So do you have any cool touring stories you want to share?
Yeah, okay, well, basically, I can't show it right now, but like as we speak, I'm hooked up to a machine right now that's icing my knee because I my ACL has been torn like the past year. So I got surgery once and I was supposed to get surgery again. But basically, I was doing this show opening for Little Mosey, and it was in Vancouver. And while I was opening up, I climbed up on like this balcony thing, and like I was yelling down, just going crazy because I try to make these moments. I always try to make these moments during shows because like I love performance, like my main thing. And there was like 24 stairs to get up there. So I ran up there with the mic and I just was wilding out. And then the next song was coming on, it was Eye for an Eye. So I had to get back to the stage. So you know when like you're a kid and like you're running down the stairs, but you want to skip the last floor, so you just jump.
Yeah.
And like I did that, and like my knee just buckled, and it just popped, and I had the mic in my right hand, and I was like, oh, good. It's like the most excruciating. It's like someone taking a baseball bat and like hitting your knee, and it blows. So like, bro, like I was, oh my god, I just had to like bite my tongue. I like crawled up on stage, and I had to limp on one leg to finish the song because like the show never ends. So I had to finish the song. That was probably the craziest moment, like for me at least, because it was the most like time I tested myself.
Wow, good for you right there, finishing out Eye for an Eye too.
Yeah, bro, had to.
That's some. You ever hear of Pearl Jam? Like
Pearl Jam, I
90s
haven't heard
rock
that,
band?
man.
They're this like crazy 90s rock band, and their singer Eddie Vedder, he used to like climb the stage and stuff and like
Jeez.
jump off and do like crowd surfing, and it's like you never know when he's gonna like screw up and land wrong
Yeah.
or like break something.
That's what I love about like performers like Travis Scott, man. Like he really performers like Travis Scott, sorry. There's a difference between Travis Scott and like a Post Malone. Like Travis Scott will go up with Chase B and like just rage and get kids like so excited. And then Post Malone will make those moments. I'm not saying Travis Scott can't do that, but Post Malone really focuses on those moments and like when Hollywood's bleeding and just that atmosphere and his voice with that vibrato. Like that's what I study like the most of it, just those moments, because I feel like performing, it's like an art form by itself. And I think to create the 360 artist, you really need to do both.
Wow, that's a good view right there. I like that. So, what's one way your fans can connect with you? What do you like to use?
Um, that's what we're trying to do right now because I feel like with my knee I can't really walk right now.
Mhm.
So like yesterday we did a question and answer thing on my Instagram. I got some funny questions on there. I answer all my DMs honestly. If you're just a genuine person, I will answer it no matter what. Um, and yeah, just coming up to me in person. We're trying to set up my super phone again at Superphone so you can just text me. Those are many ways right now because we're trying to really stay connected through COVID. And when it comes to this album, when it drops, we're gonna do merch giveaways and have many different like meet and greets and like things like that, and so we can connect with fans.
Oh, there you go.
Mm.
You gonna try and set up anything like in person now that there's more openings going on publicly?
Well, yeah, that's the plan. That's what I really want to do is just connect with these kids, man. That's like the main thing.
That's awesome. There you go, man.
Yeah.
And feel free to throw out your usernames out there.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
And
my Instagram is Boslen at Boslen Boslen, and everything else is just Boslen. So
that's a straightforward name right there.
yeah.
I like it. So, final question I got right here for you, and feel free to go as like in depth as you want to.
Mm.
What's your goal? Like, what kind of impact do you want to make on this world?
Um, Such a loaded question. It's like the best question. I think my goal is to, leave a creative legacy. I think that's my main goal is to just leave a legacy to like, because I'm part First Nations and Jamaican, and there's been a lot of places, and I've seen a lot of families that like are struggling right now. Like even like my own family back in the past, like I know what it's like. So I want to really just leave a creative legacy to inspire these kids because I feel like Vancouver, there's thousands of kids here that are so like talented, and I feel like even my team, like there's like literally my team, like my manager dropped out of like university to pursue my career. Like my creative director is like losing sleep and like they're jumping through loopholes just to help me with my career. And I feel like it would like that's one of my main goals as well, just to give back to them and make sure that we're all like financially stable so we can all just focus on our careers and express ourselves. Um, yeah, I think that's my main goal, man, and just be happy, you know, because like right now I'm very happy. I feel like right now I've been like the most self-aware I've been in a very long time. And I just want to continue that, just be in a positive headspace and just help people out with my music.
Yeah. Most important thing right now in these times is being happy.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that like change for somebody in their life.
Hmm.
All right. Hey, it's been a great conversation with you, man. I really enjoyed seeing you like face to face. This was
Thanks,
awesome.
bro. Yeah, no, I appreciate your time. I really do. Man. Thank you.
So, what's the next thing you got planned?
The
Where are we
next
gonna
thing
hear
coming
you
up,
next?
we got the album Dust to Dawn coming. We got another music video dropping for y'all. Keep a lookout. We're gonna do another live performance and a couple other surprises in the works that I can't wait for everybody to hear.
All right. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you do next, and I can't wait
Sure.
to see you blow up, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.